an alum, and I'm really happy to have her come back and read. Jennifer Rieger is the English Department Chair at Upper Merion Area High School in King of Prussia. She teaches 12th grade advanced placement and creative writing courses. An advocate for her students, she dedicates her time to empowering young people through reading, writing, and acts of love. Jennifer holds a bachelor's in English, a master's in English literature, and MFA in creative writing. Among other literary publications, her work has appeared in the Psy Press, Bust Magazine, Rothala Review, Schiller Magazine, Philadelphia Stories, and the Wisconsin Review. She was recently selected to present the piece she will be reading from tonight, You Mean Ted Hughes' Wife, at the Sylvia Plath International Conference in Belfast, Ireland. And interestingly enough, received word last night, 2 nights ago, that the same piece was selected for publication in the Chautauqua Literary Journal. So please welcome Jennifer Rieger.
The White Lion Inn in Hebden Bridge is a gorgeous historic public house covered in English ivy and flowers. The only entrance is through the restaurant, and I knew I looked a fright as I approached the bar. "Morning, ma'am. I can check you in here." A cute young girl greeted me and flashed the most perfect smile. Probably sensing that I was about to fall over, she poured me a glass of water as I relayed my information. "Yes, Miss Rieger, you're booked with us for one night, but I'm sorry, your room will not be ready until 3. Can we store your bag while you explore the town?" I gladly gave her my heavy duffel and inquired about the best way to get to St. Thomas's Cemetery. "Not sure if I know it. Mark?" The girl yelled to the back of the pub, and I felt an overwhelming sense of deja vu. Mark appeared, an equally attractive individual. Both of them only accentuated the grossness that I permeated. I asked Mark the same question and showed him the screenshot of Heptonstall map. "Please tell me I'm in the right place. It has been a long journey. I'm looking for the grave of Sylvia Plath." "Oh, Ted Hughes' wife." Dear Lord. Mark squinted at the screen and put on his glasses. "Oh, you're looking for Heptonstall Village. You're in Hebden Bridge. Looks like the church is 2 miles away." "Perfect," I said. "Is there a place I can rent a bike?" The waitress and Mark looked at each other, trying to stifle a laugh. "Are you a cyclist, ma'am?" Mark looked at me with all sincerity, but I had my back up. Was this guy mocking me with his youthful glow and sparkling smile? I was not in the mood for humor. "I beg your pardon, ma'am. It's 2 miles on a straight incline," Mark added kindly. Well, shit. Incline was a bit of an understatement, and I was ill-prepared for a hiking expedition. Donning ripped jeans, flimsy tom shoes, and wearing the worst possible bra for sweating, I quickly braided my hair into 2 makeshift pigtails. I weighed the option of spending some time in town to find workout clothes and sensible shoes, but dismissed the idea and carried on. How bad could it be? Everyone I encountered along the way looked at me with the same grin Mark and the waitress had. One kind old man stopped me and asked if I was all right. "Oh yes, I'm just fine." I stopped to feel the cool breeze along the guardrail's edge, trying not to become roadkill by the occasional speeding car. He rummaged through his bag and took out a small bottle of water and handed it to me. "You shouldn't climb Heptonstall Hill without water, young lady." I drained the bottle, thanking him profusely. I believe I started this journey by leaving my common sense back in Philadelphia. The old man smiled. "Well, sometimes common sense holds us back, now doesn't it? What exactly are you trying to find?" He handed me a folded handkerchief from his bag. That's a good question. A very good question. Wanting to say, "I have no idea," I managed, "I'm looking for the grave of Sylvia Plath," and quickly added, "Ted Hughes' wife." I wiped my brow and neck and stared at the mountain. "Ah, I hear she was quite a good poet. Sad, sad ending to her life. You know, Hughes's parents lived in Heptonstall." Yes, I had known that. When staying with Ted's parents, Sylvia wrote the poem November Graveyard, based on the very cemetery in which she is ironically buried. "Thank you for your help. Seriously, would you like your now sweaty handkerchief back?" We both laughed. "No, my lady, you keep it. But stop into the Cross Inn before making your way to the ruins to get some more water. Tell them Oliver sent you. I'm the only Oliver in the village. Oh, and when you see a mess of rose bushes on your left, turn onto the footpath. It's a shortcut. When your foot hits cobbles, you're in the village." He patted my shoulder and I thanked him as he continued on his way. The footpath was no ordinary walk through the woods. It looked like a page of a fairy tale, complete with tree houses, even more rose bushes, small stone homes here and there, family grave plots, and its fair share of ancient steps. I desperately wanted to sit and write, to imagine the ghosts of these hills whispering about me, making sense of this journey for me. Instead, I forged on, until finally making it back onto the road, only stopping every once so often to hold onto the guardrail, peer out over the West Yorkshire countryside, and breathe. But the last few turns of the road, I hit cobblestones. I knelt, touching them, never feeling so grateful to stand on old stones in all my life. My Toms had definitely seen better days. I saw the cross inn Oliver had told me about, but I was too excited to stop. A few more turns on the hill and I was at St. Thomas's Church. I had read about the two churches in Heptonstall. The first, dating almost 1,000 years ago, had been struck by lightning. The damage was so severe that the congregation decided to erect another church on the property instead of rebuilding. They left the old church as ruins, and it's said that over 100,000 people are buried between the old graveyard and the new one. I entered the wrought iron gates in awe and opened Plath's collected poems to November Graveyard. The scene stands stubborn, it begins. In the distance, graves upon graves, some upright, some falling over, some flat tombs, other above-ground monuments and vaults, bones everywhere. Trees rustling in the slight breeze casted the strangest light on this field of stones, like images of little fairies dancing and playing. There were dates that I had never seen on graves before, descriptions of the ways these people had died: war, fever, childbirth, sleep. I knew instantly what she beheld. No dead man's cries, flower, forget-me-nots, between stones, paving the grave ground. She saw desolation, absence, but also beauty. The shadows that linger long after we turn to dust, names forever immortalized upon this hilltop of stones, names, 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 the truest words we leave behind, some that will erode with the inevitable England weather, some that will linger with the faintest impression. I ran my fingers over the lettering, over the remaining inscriptions, trying to steal their names into my memory, trying to put them into a little file with others from my past. I tried earnestly not to step on the moss-covered grave, but it was impossible. Far too many, much too close. I made my way to the old church ruins and entered with trepidation. It's creepy, even for a graveyard enthusiast. There were outlines of graves in there as well, people buried in the church floor, but the writing was no longer visible. I closed my eyes and saw the pews, the aisle, the ancient weddings, baptisms, funerals, the congregants now buried here, praying for a miracle for their parents, their spouses, their children. The altar was still there with 3 flower bouquets tied with a ribbon, a mark of today's faithful who walk among ruins. There was a path outside the stone walls bordering the ancient graves, and I felt compelled to follow it. Immediately, I saw in the distance another cemetery, one I had seen in many pictures. This was it. I had made it. I approached the overgrown yard, only half filled with tombstones, and felt a strange new breeze here. I paused to welcome it before approaching the tall grass. In the distance, I heard a faint, "Hello? Young lady? Hello? Are you looking for Sylvia?" Well, this was it, all this way, and I'm now going to die from either rattlesnake bites or be mocked by ghosts of the dead I was obviously disturbing. "Hello, miss?" From behind a tree, a bald old man in a sports coat and tie approached me. "Don't be afraid. I just thought you might be looking for Sylvia Plath." "Hello, yes, I am. How did you know?" I was puzzled and shook the man's hand. "Oh, well, there are many young women looking just like you who climbed this hill to visit Sylvia." I stifled a laugh. Did we all have a look about us? White, 40-something sweaty feminists in impractical shoes and practical bras, pigtail braids, seeking answers to mysteries that have been pondered throughout history? My name is Stuart Burns, and who might you be? Again, I was met with kind, warm eyes. I'm Jen Rieger, and it has been such a long day.